begging for service. The folks at Judson Irrigation shed a tear for these little fellas. They've been coddling these orphans for more than 40 years. From redesign, repairing, replacing, and restoring, remember the Judson Irrigation Orphanage.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Serve Nebraska believes that volunteers are part of what makes Nebraska great. Each year, the Step Forward Awards honors volunteers from across the state who serve their communities in outstanding ways. We hope you'll join us this year at the Step Forward Awards luncheon on October 27th in Omaha. Help us thank volunteers with a celebration to remember. To register, visit serve.nebraska.gov and click Register Now. We hope to see you there. Paid for by Serve Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
If you're working in your yard, remember never to place landscaping structures and fences too close to above-ground electrical equipment. It's unsafe and could cost you financially. Visit les.com for a complete fence and landscaping installation guide.
Midwest Bank is now hiring in Lincoln. They have multiple banking positions open and are looking for dynamic individuals passionate about helping others and building relationships. With a family-friendly culture, competitive benefits, and unique perks, Midwest Bank is a great place to start a new career. Apply today at midwest.bank. Midwest Bank is an equal opportunity employer, member FDIC. Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
In dealing with the high interest rates, it's very important that you get as much bang for the buck. And that's what our Remington Homes is all about.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders, talking about Remington Homes, which makes the home building process easier and more affordable.
People really enjoy being able to go to our website, which is remingtonlincoln.com, pick a plan, pick a price point, go through and build it yourself. You have a lot of options, whether you want granite, whether you want painted trim or other upgrades. Those are all options with our Remington Homes. People do not want to be married to their house payment. They want to get a nice house with nice finishes in a great area for an affordable price. And that's what Remington Homes are all about.
Home building is easier with a Remington home from Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at remingtonlincoln.com. remingtonlincoln.com.
Early break.
Getting after it, which is
So
good,
you're getting coffeed up at the mill?
Yeah, so I walk over to people.
Would you be willing to come on every day? Is there something that you'd be able to do?
You know what? Actually, I got a lot of things to say.
If you please every Friday, at least before a game, Coach, we'd love to have you. It'd be a riot.
With Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Bush. From 6 to 9 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, welcome to Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in. Like I said, we got another hour here at least of live radio before we get to some replays. Jackson Kleinschmidt joining me. Fill this up with at least one more hour of some live shows here. So if you guys want to join in, 402-464-5685. That is the Sartor Heyman text line. As always, you can put a face to the voice, Facebook, YouTube, XAL channel 961. If you got Allo Cable. Jackson, how's it going on a not quite hell out there yet, but a warm Thursday?
No, that's pretty great. It is pretty good out here right now.
Are you going to be all right this weekend? Like, is that just Florida weather when you get to like 100+ degrees?
Yeah. I mean, we don't see a lot of 100. I mean, you can get the high 90s, but it's not even. It's just the humidity that kills me down in Florida. That's what always gets me.
I think that kills people everywhere. It kills me in the Midwest.
Well, then I hear people up here who are like, it's very humid up here. I'm like, it's not more humid than Florida.
Well,
it's just not.
I definitely not Florida. I don't think. If you are in the middle of harvest season and you are in the middle of nowhere, I don't want to say middle of nowhere. When you get to the real small towns that are just surrounded by corn in particular and soybeans, when those crops start sweating, it gets pretty bad. I don't want to say Florida humidity.
I get it.
But
I definitely get it.
It definitely, you get those days, especially when you get, not quite harvest, but it's just to getting all green. That's when it hits you. It's definitely not like Florida though, where it's a constant. You have some weeks that are just miserable.
It's humid all the time.
Yeah, Florida is just a
like up
sticky place.
Here, it's more dry. I'm not going to say it's completely dry because you go out to Vegas and like Arizona, like where you just were. That's dry.
Yeah, in Arizona, like my nose, I almost got like a bloody nose just from like being out there in the dry weather.
No,
it was crazy.
That. Yeah, when I was in Vegas last summer, that was the first time for me, and I was, we'd be walking around the strip down there, and it'd be like 103 in the middle of the day, 104.
Yeah, it's bizarre. And my skin just felt like sandpaper.
Yeah.
Because there's like no moisture. It's bizarre. But either way, we're not here to talk about the weather. Like always, it is interesting. And this weekend's going to be interesting, especially everybody going out to the College World Series. Like I said before, go to the Blur tailgate. If you got someone like my skin, sit under that nice shade and get yourself a ticket. Beautiful out there. Ticket won't be out there anymore. But Jackson, you got to check it out plenty yourself, didn't you? The Blur tailgate? Yeah. You're not 21 though.
No.
Okay, bummer. You didn't get to enjoy the mountains, but there's plenty of mountains Coors Lights to be enjoyed. You can still get tickets. Like I said, tickets not going to be out there. D93.7, the ticket's not going to be out there, but you can get yourself a personal ticket and enjoy it while the College World Series is still going on. And we could just quick start there. Who do you want to go for in this? LSU or Coastal?
Give me Coastal.
Okay.
That's the one game I went to. It was the kickoff, and it was Arizona versus Coastal. And I as soon as I saw Coastal play, I was like, this looks like a team that can win. And I was like, kind of like, because listen, I'm not the largest baseball guy. I like baseball, but I'm not like, very well versed. But when I watched Coastal play, I was like, that looks like a team that can win. And now they made it to the finals, and they have not lost a game.
It's been a minute. I'm looking it up right now. What is the current win streak for them? 26 games.
26.
That is insane.
They have not lost a game since April, if you think about that. So
it's one thing to do in sports, in baseball in general. When you're that hot in baseball, I don't know. LSU's been good though. LSU obviously doesn't have a 26 winning streak, but they did come out of their in the actual College World Series. They came out of their bracket clean. They didn't drop a single game. Either Coastal or LSU did not have to play a if necessary game. They just clean slate, ran all the way through. Is this a 2-game series or is this a 3-game series?
I could see it going 3.
It feels like it almost has to go 3.
It feels like 3, just with two teams coming in where they have not been beat in the College World Series so far. So
red hot.
It's obviously going to be we're going to find out who's going to be beat on Saturday. Right? That's the first game.
Mm-hmm.
So Saturday, one of those teams is going to get beat, but I could just see the next team coming back the next day.
Who do you think was the tougher opponent, Arkansas or LSU? And obviously, like the easy answer is LSU. They won. But man, that was brutal. The way Arkansas pissed it away at the end there, bottom of the 9th inning. And then that error was crazy. Did you happen to catch it?
I did. I did watch the ending of that game, and that
I felt terrible.
It felt like what I would imagine. And I'm not an Arkansas fan, but in that moment, I kind of was like,
I almost
empathetic,
was.
and I was like, man, this is what I imagined the Michigan State fans felt like in the Big Ten tournament, because it was the same type of situation. Like, oh, game's over, and he just
brutal
just drops it. And again, I don't. Remind me, but I don't know if the game would have been over.
At that point, the era I'm talking of, I believe there was 2 runs to tie it up. They got and they had another on base though, and that was the game-winning run. But he bombed it left field, not a home run, and he misread it a little bit. But the bounce off that error was the most brutal part. It wasn't just an error. That way, that thing. I've never seen a baseball bounce that hard off the dirt like that. It looked like
you could see the guys in the bullpen just
like,
oh my gosh.
Brutal for Arkansas. Like I said, I'm not especially the way they've treated Nebraska baseball. When last time we were, how long ago was that? They
Oh gosh,
the living hell out of us in the regionals, or was it super regionals?
I think it was just the regionals.
Either way, Arkansas made sure we didn't make it to the College World Series. That much I'm confident in. Obviously not regarding this last year. This last year we just fell short, and I think it might have been 2 years, or no, it was last year because we won the Big Ten tournament, and I think we got Arkansas.
Yeah. Golly, Arkansas.
After getting the pitchers having Woods is phenomenal. He has a no hitter not too long ago.
19 strikeout no hitter, and then he comes back and pitches the next game, I believe.
Yeah, no, it was fine. I mean, you're up 5-3 in that game, and at the bottom of the ninth, brutal. That's college baseball for you, though.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, I
think Arkansas would have been the tougher opponent. I genuinely think that Arkansas would have been the tougher opponent, even though they're the ones that lost.
But then you just look at LSU and then just find ways to get it done every year. What do you think the Schwab balance is going to be like? LSU to Coastal to neutrals?
Oh, LSU.
Yeah. How much?
Literally LSU.
75% purple?
No, I would be generous and say I like more like to the 65-70. There's a lot of Coastal fans there. I've met a lot of great Coastal fans. That's also why I just kind of piggybacked.
Oh, there is a good pocket of Coastal fans?
I was just surrounded by Coastal fans when I went, and I was just, chopping it up with them. And they're like, because I was clapping for Coastal, and they're like, what's your connection to Coastal? I was like, nothing. Literally nothing. And they're like, well, you're a Coastal fan now. I was like, all right, let's ride.
I mean, Coastal, Murray State, you like some of
like
their
fans were just
teams.
Nice. Not that LSU fans weren't. I just didn't talk to any LSU fans. I like the Coastal fans, but they showed up.
Yeah,
they were loud. So, but
it gives me some hope. I'm a little bit worried
LSU just shows up no matter what. There's going to be a decent amount of LSU fans at the College World Series every year because they just buy tickets.
Yeah,
as soon as they go on sale, they just buy them.
And shout out to them. They make Omaha better for it. Like it is fun. If you ever
Broncos loves them. Come on.
Well, it's if they do. I'll give this to LSU and Cluster Johnson was talking about this earlier. Like there's quite a few Nebraskans that have become LSU baseball fans as like their secondary team because these LSU fans come down here and they party.
Oh yeah,
it's a lot of fanfare and they're very. Not all, but a lot of them are really friendly and like they'll be like, come take a drink with me at my tailgate. And then you get all these like local connections between these local Nebraska people that see these LSU fans like come down here year after year outside of last year. Obviously, they didn't make it, but a lot of years they're up here and then you meet a lot of them. So I'm going to go. You gave me help with Coastal Carolina to be in there. I'm going to go 60-40 though, LSU. That's even too much. I'm going to go 70-30 LSU and just some neutrals.
It's fair. I think more Coastal fans have shown up. I think some have been like, let's go to Omaha, like when they started going a little further, because I'm starting to see more fans for that team a little bit, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's one of those teams too, where it's like you're unsure of the competition, and then you make it to the College World Series, and you're like, oh, we're good, and then you start winning in the College World Series.
There's plenty of people that flew up to Omaha, and they've gone to one game, but the rest of the games, they're just, out and about, whether it's, at Blur or, all the
bars
there's a
around.
Million places to go watch College World Series in Omaha. Like it's a great place to be. So
yeah, did you ever get to watch it at the old field? I'm blanking on it right now.
No. I mean on TV, yeah, but no. My first men's College World Series game was last Friday. That was my very first one.
That's, I guess, like if you're from Florida, you're not going to probably fly all the way to Omaha to go check out it.
It's kind of going on before, but never actually like there. I was a funny LSU story. Like I came up here, I met some LSU fans, being my parents, and we were at we went to some steakhouse. I can't remember the name of it. They have like this statue in this steakhouse in Omaha of like a bull. And we walked in there, and on the bull was just an LSU hat. Like someone had left an LSU hat. And I was like, oh, that's funny. There's an LSU hat on. And then we told the waitress, and the waitress was like, what? And she looked, she's like, oh, that's not supposed to be there.
Yeah, that was definitely some LSU fan that sacrificed the
hat. They ended up just leaving it there because they thought it was funny. And then I think that was the year, it was like the Paul Skeens year.
Oh, really?
So that's the year that they won the World Series. So this is 2 years ago?
Yeah. Okay, so that's a good year for it.
Yeah.
And that's one where it's like, someone sacrificed. That was somebody's hat, and they sacrificed it.
Yeah, they just put it right
for
up
a while.
there. Yeah. I can't remember the name of that place, but that was cool. And I just met some cool people. So,
yeah. You got anything else on the College World Series?
Nah.
All right. That's where I'm at. I'm going to go Coastal Carolina.
I'm rolling with the Chanticleers.
Oh, okay.
Chanticleers. Let's do it.
All right. Let's have some fun here. I want to bring this up to you then. And this is just chaos. We talked about it in the last hour, but I think some of the stuff is absurd. Have you heard about the bill that is trying to get passed in Michigan right now?
I was listening to you and DeMornay talk about it.
It's just craziness. Okay, so this is a bill. It basically just undoes everything the House settlement just tried to do. And I'm not going to read it to the same extent I did last time, but it's essentially the athletic association, conference, or other group or organization with authority over intercollegiate athletics, including but not limited to the NCAA, shall not do any of the following. So that's, obviously the NCAA, the Big Ten, or any parties that have, how'd they word it? Intercollegiate athletics, authority over intercollegiate athletics. So you can make it that way you will, but think NCAA or conferences.
Okay.
And they cannot do this if this goes through, accept a complaint, open an investigation, threaten a penalty, impose a penalty, or take any adverse action against a prospective or current college athlete, an athlete agent, post-secondary educational institution. Basically, you can't do anything. You just cannot put in. It's basically just eliminating the College Sports Commission altogether in their role in the state of Michigan if that got passed.
But I don't understand. Like, so,
I mean, you take a stab. Why do you think they'd want to do that? And this is me maybe being too facetious, if that's the right word. But like, my guess is Michigan's a big dog.
Yeah.
A lot of people in there, a lot of money, support the University of Michigan. I mean, you don't want to lose your ability to just have more money than anybody else. It keeps the bag man from going back in the shadows.
Yeah.
Because the house settlement to me, right? We had NIL. It was always a real thing, even though it wasn't legal. Like, we knew people were getting money. They were not good. They were criminals. That was not supposed to be happening, but it was happening. And then NIL became legal, and all those people came out of the shadows. They were the ones running the show with all these big numbers that didn't make a whole lot of sense for the business they were signing the deal with, but whatever. And now the house settlement got passed, which would put these guys back in the shadows. And it feels like this is an attempt to just keep it the way it is, because it's a lot more fun not hiding my activity. Yeah. Even if the activity would be legal if this got passed. But again, it's just the schools with more money would dominate.
It's just, I mean, it's money.
Yeah.
Where's the money?
Any chance that gets passed?
What's going to make me? No, there's no way. I
don't think so either, but I was surprised. There is like a surprising group of people that love the idea.
I think it'll, like, the turnout, like, in terms of whatever the vote is, I think it'll be higher than what you would think.
Yeah.
But there's no way that gets passed.
I can't just way to take one step forward and 10 steps back. Just like we would finally get to some sort of conclusion.
But I mean, it's not surprising coming from Michigan.
No, the Michigan who's still going through the freaking Connor Stallions deal, and it's like now they got more bills.
Yeah,
and given that's not I don't think that's the University of Michigan. I'd have to look at who's people all behind that bill trying to push it forward. But I'm sure there's Michigan
money.
ties.
Those guys got money.
Yes.
Ask Bryce Underwood. That dude's bank account is heavy.
Yeah, how much did he get?
And he's like 18.
How much did he get to go to Michigan? What was the alleged number that they were throwing out there for Underwood, the quarterback who?
I know it's somewhere like above 10 million or right at 10 million. Hold on, Bryce.
Which is just insanity for a guy who hasn't played yet.
Yeah, I mean, he's a number one recruit, but
which is great, but you haven't played.
10.5. It's somewhere between 10.5 and 12 million over 4 years, which is insane. It is. The deal is. It's one of the largest in NIL or college sports history, whatever you want to consider. So, yeah, that they, because I think he was originally committed to LSU. I think
he did.
Is he from Michigan? He had like a connection to Michigan, and Michigan was like, "We're not like, yeah, he's from Michigan." They're like, "We don't want you to go anywhere," and they just threw him the ultra bag.
Yeah, I think Dave Portnoy himself threw in a big bag in there.
I think he
like a mill
contributed $1 million.
Yeah,
to get him to go. Yeah, it's crazy you could do that.
Yeah, well, not anymore with this.
Why can't we get Warren Buffett on our side over here, just funneling out like, "Hey, you want to come to Nebraska? Here's $1 million." Like,
he invests in stocks that go up eventually.
He's an actual smart man with his money.
He's like, he's still waiting to buy the drop. No, I'm just kidding. I think we suffered the drop. He probably bought, maybe that's how we got Dylan Rail. He bought the dip. He came in right when Dylan Rail, we recruited him. He's like, let me buy the dip real quick, which was the Jeff Sims year. And then he bought in big, and then he gave money, and that's how we got Dylan Rail.
Gosh, what an interesting year for quarterback in Nebraska.
I was talking this morning. It's fascinating. And this is all cheek and tongue. Obviously, this is nowhere near Dylan Rail's fault. Could have been like 10 years later, 10 years before. Jet Tamalia, a Nebraska native, 4-star, Elite 11 QB, we already got our guys Dayton, because the family tie I think extends there, which I'm not saying is the wrong thing. So that kind of takes that class right there. And then obviously Daniel Kalen was another 4-star Elite 11 QB that could have been, I think he's probably going to be good. No, we got a 5-star Dylan Raiola who came in here. Just kind of brutal timing. It's great. I'm super happy to have Dylan Raiola.
Yeah.
That's why I say like tongue in cheek, but a little bit of an anomaly of how good of quarterbacks we have coming out of the state right now.
My thing with that is you don't get Trey Taylor if you get Jet. I mean, you don't get, and obviously you don't get Jet if you have Trey Taylor. You're not.
It's true.
Pick one or two from the next class because you're not going to have 2 top guys in classes that are right next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not going to happen. Like if Jet,
if
we offered Jet tomorrow,
do you think they needed to
committed,
offer Dayton? Because that's the 26, and then Jet Smalley was 26.
I think it was just one of those things where it's like, okay, let's get Dayton.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're probably still gonna have Dylan. Let's just bring in Dayton. You know, I also think it's part of it. Like if we bring Dylan's brother here, then that
helps.
Lessens the chances of him leaving too.
Yeah, and I'm not saying this is like a bad move.
I'm not saying it's bad at all.
Yeah.
I actually love it. I think it's great. Keep Dylan here.
Yes.
Do whatever you can to keep Dylan here. Do whatever you can to make him happy. And that's bringing in Dayton Raiola, who's not even a bad quarterback.
He's a 3-star. It's
the
not like
Dayton
he's a
Raiola
nobody.
slander
It is crazy.
So not needed because everybody's acting like he's just an unknown, like nepo baby quarterback.
Yeah.
This kid is making his own name for himself. He's making his own name for himself. And I'm not even trying to take a shot at Dylan because, listen, he's a fantastic quarterback. But Dayton's established at one singular high school and has been committed to one college program. And people are acting like this kid is just this nobody. He could have gone to other schools. He had other offers.
Yeah, he has multiple offers.
So I don't understand why people are acting. I get it. It's frustrating not getting the in-state quarterback. But you have a quarterback in that class. Is he not rated as high as Jet? Yes. But then you got a guy coming in after Jet the year after in 27 who's rated higher than Jet.
Yeah.
So you can't have both. You can't recruit the number 1 quarterback in every class every year. It's not going to happen. Like we won't have another Dylan Raiola for a while. I mean, Trey Taylor is kind of near that.
Yeah.
But it's frustrating, but also in the era of transfer portal, doesn't matter. Recruit your people. If they don't commit to you, don't burn the bridge.
Yeah.
Because they might enter the portal and come over here. Williams and Weary, prime example. Recruited him out of high school. He goes to Missouri. Kept a good relationship there. We bring some of his buddies over here. He enters the portal.
Is it Winery or Winari? I thought it was Winari. I might have been butchering.
In
Weary. Okay.
Weary. I don't know. Hopefully I'm saying that right. But yeah, he enters the portal. He had a no contact.
Mm-hmm.
He knew where he was going. He knew where he wanted to go. So
that was a good message, and all that is like you just don't want to burn bridges.
Don't burn bridges,
especially when, to your point, like I think Dayton is.
My thing is,
he's a good prospect as it is. He might not be the number 1 to your point, but at the same time, you also can, if you know Dylan Raiola's family and you feel like it's a good family and you really like Dylan Raiola's work ethic, there's a good chance that that's going to follow through with Dayton.
The Raiolas are great. Just
from what we've seen so far,
program.
Yeah,
they're great at recruiting. Like they know what they're doing. They've been around this university forever,
and they've been pretty loyal.
Imagine how cool it is when the quarterback that's recruiting you, whether it's just Dylan or both of them, eventually, when they want you to come here and you're a guy coming out of high school, they're recruiting you to come here to play with them, become their teammate, and their last name is in Memorial Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
That means something. It's it's a legacy. It's everything. It's just family.
Yeah, we don't disagree, which doesn't always make for great radio. Unfortunately, I agree with you 100% on that one. Like I'm on the fence. Like it sucks, especially with the 105 roster limit. Though you're not going to get every single guy that you want, and again, you just don't want to burn bridges because the transfer portal is so wide open.
He's also
now.
committed to going to Alabama, and he flipped from Iowa State. If you had him now, I think he would have flipped to. You would have been Iowa State. I'm just putting that out there, and that's no hate to him.
Mm-hmm.
Great, go to Bama. That's a great school. All that does is just make Nebraska look better.
Yep.
So it's great.
Yeah, no. Best of luck to Jet Smalley as he's committed to Alabama, and who knows, he might decommit.
That's sick.
Yeah, just sick.
A Nebraska quarterback going to Bama as one of the top guys of that class. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's what I was saying before. It's like it's just kind of crazy, like the amount of quarterbacks we've had just run through here all of a sudden. And it's a little bit of an anomaly. We've always had great athletes, obviously per capita, we're not per capita, population wise, we're not going to have just tons and tons that we can pump out. I've always got good athletes. Just lately though, I mean, between some of the guys that we didn't really talk about a lot, like Zane Flores as well, not too long ago, he was another really great quarterback. And then we just saw Daniel Kalen and now Tamalia. So good luck to all those guys. Yeah. It's just the fun part about this is, even if not all the guys ended up on Nebraska, I love watching college football. And then if Daniel Kalen's on the TV, like, hell yeah, I'm going to watch. And
he's playing for Virginia. So like, there's no conflict there.
No, you're just going to enjoy it.
You could just go watch a Nebraska kid play. It's not like he's going to be coming back with Iowa, playing your team once a year. Like,
and then with Jet Somalia, it's like, can you climb in the depths of Alabama? Like, I mean, it's not the Nick Saban Bama, but it's still Bama.
That's not an easy QB room either.
It's always a loaded QB room.
You got Keelan Russell coming in, I think this year or that, I don't know.
I think it is.
That's like the 5-star I want to like top guy in whatever class, one of the top guys. And then you already have a stacked room with Ty Simpson and, a bunch of other great guys. It's Bama. Like, that's prestigious. The quarterbacks there are fantastic. Like, it's just one of those places to even get an offer from them is great.
So again, don't burn that bridge.
No, don't burn that bridge.
That is a brutal place to get minutes at. And it's going to be nice and polished though while he's playing there. Like, that's the university is great at develop, even though it's again, I guess not Saban. A lot of that money's still there. A lot of that culture is still there. It takes time for that culture to completely crumble. And who knows, maybe DeBoer just first year, give him some time himself. Alabama might just pick up right where they were, which I'm not totally. And I don't think it'll ever be the same Saban, especially with the way NIL is now. I have a good feeling that Alabama was getting guys money under the table to get a lot of them there. So I think that advantage is gone. But
Saban said no.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
there was a whole bit on College Game Day when Shane Gillis was like,
I'll
pay players. And then he got all mad and then he called him Alabama Jones.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
He did look like Alabama Jones with that hat. Did. That hat was crazy. But shout out Nick Saban, as he'll still be missed. I forgive him for obviously any of the good feeling. I'm sorry for what Nick Saban said, but I just don't know if I fully believe him.
There's just no shot.
Maybe it wasn't Saban giving the money, but someone seemed.
I could see hey, here's a check for $5,000, and
hey, don't ask.
It's AJ McCarron across the table. Like,
hey, don't ask me how or what happened, but he just committed last night. Oh, okay, cool. Don't ask me about how. All right, see you later.
We don't gotta worry about it.
Yeah, so Saban, he really didn't know about it. All right, we'll get off of that though. Off the Crimson Tide. A little bit of Husker football quarterback updates. We'll talk some NBA on the other side. Don't go anywhere. Jackson Kleinschmidt, Harrison Arens, Ticket Weeknights till the end of the hour here. And like I said, we'll have a best of ticket replay for you afterwards.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza, the big one, all the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
Hi, this is Pastor Tom. Did you know there's a place kids can seek out help when they're away from home and something goes wrong? They find themselves in a difficult spot or even a dangerous situation. Maybe another child is bullying them or a stranger is following them. Perhaps on a date and things just go bad. In Lincoln, here's where they can find help. It's called Safe Place. Safe Place is a national program for children taking place in thousands of cities across the United States. The People City Mission is sponsoring this program in our community and has set up a number of businesses, fire stations, schools, and nonprofits around the city to become safe locations where kids can seek out help. They just need to look for the big yellow sign that says Safe Place on it. Then go inside and ask for help. We will be quickly connected to them and ensure they make it back home or to whatever resources are needed. If you'd like to find out more about Safe Place and ways in which you can get involved, just go to pcmlincoln.org. Remember, when we all do a little, we change a lot.
Wide range of benefits to thank you for your service, but it can be difficult to navigate the process of determining eligibility, filing claims, appealing decisions, and securing the benefits you've earned. Speak to your County Veteran Service Officer or the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs State Service Office to see what's available to you and your family. These services are 100% free, so visit veterans.nebraska.gov today. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Play ball! Haymarket Park is buzzing buzzing with excitement this summer. Grab your crew and get in on the fun. Be sure to catch all the daily specials and promotions this season, like Thirsty Thursday, Fireworks Friday, Souvenir Saturday, Family Fun Day Sunday, plus special events and discounts all summer long. Don't miss out on the action as the Lincoln Salt Dogs take on their biggest rivals and knock the ball out of the park. Visit saltdogs.com and see this week's promotions and grab your tickets.
How was your drive to school?
Let me tell you, I had to get my iced coffee first. I just can't seem to put it down. My favorite rapper just announced a tour. My phone was buzzing like crazy. I'm so excited. I had to text all my friends right then to talk about it. Then someone started calling me and...
Let's try that again.
I turned my phone off right away. I never drive distracted.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Serve Nebraska believes that volunteers are part of what makes Nebraska great. Each year, the Step Forward Awards honors volunteers from across the state who serve their communities in outstanding ways. We hope you'll join us this year at the Step Forward Awards luncheon on October 27th in Omaha. Help us thank volunteers with a celebration to remember. To register, visit serve.nebraska.gov and click Register Now. We hope to see you there. Paid for by Serve Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Okay, kids, Dad's gonna teach you how to dance. First, spread your feet apart. Then, pump your knee, nod your head, shake your hips, and bite your lip ever so slightly. Now, with one hand in the air, point at people with the other hand. I call that the rock star.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids.
Now, make a face like it just smells something bad.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm going to take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Back to The Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in. Ticket Weeknights, Harrison Arens, Jackson Kleinschmidt back at the Ticket Studios, 1040 O Street. We got NBA Finals on TV above us to the left. Right now, Pacers are leading at 42-33 over the OKC Thunder. And this is a do or die moment. Obvious reasons, OKC's leading the series 3-2. So, do simple math here. If OKC wins tonight, that is the end of the NBA Finals.
Interesting.
And OKC will get their first NBA title as the Thunder. They did get one
It's kind of crazy
in the 70s as the Supersonics, I believe. I think it was like 79. That's not correct me if I'm wrong, but definitely in that 1970s era, they got one. But this will be the first time they get one as the OKC Thunder. My question for you, give me the best Thunder of all time.
I also listened to this.
Yeah,
so
and I'm curious.
I have listened to you in the morning.
Just the morning, be honest, the morning Pierce-Nell, well, I was upset with his answer, but doesn't mean you have to kowtow and just go with what I think.
In terms of what they accomplished in OKC,
I mean, the best Thunder to put on a jersey.
Yeah, and what they did
Oklahoma at OKC. Yes.
Russell Westbrook. Yeah. Because what KD did, yes, he won an MVP. Cool.
So did Russ.
But what he did that defines his career was in Golden State. It's not in OKC. OKC built him, but what he accomplished was after he left. He's a snake. Sorry, I have to say it.
Well, when you go to
What he
the
is, he's a
team,
snake.
when you go to the team that beat you in a game 7,
That is the definition of a snake.
yeah,
I'm so sorry.
It's if you
Really
don't-
no hate, but
if you don't like the word legacy, it certainly hurt his image. But when you think it's fair or not, like that's
it's Russell Westbrook.
definitely happened.
When I think of like OKC, I picture in my head Russell Westbrook just yamming on somebody in an OKC uniform.
Well, and this is why I never understand the idea that like the team hopping is always like there is so much defense around team hopping, and I'm like, it just ruins legacy. It does. Like if you can be Russ, even though Russ wasn't coming down with titles year after year, he is still the heart of OKC. Like Russ can go to OKC anytime he wants to get a standing ovation.
Yeah.
Anytime.
There's only one guy that's like you could think of multiple teams and you would think of him, and that's like LeBron. Like if you think of Cleveland, there's a lot of people that say LeBron.
Yeah, because
Lakers,
he's that great.
LeBron.
Mhm.
The Heat, LeBron. Like there's a lot of people that would say that. But KD, like when you say, when you think of a Suns uniform, not a lot of people are going to say Kevin Durant. They're going to say Steve Nash.
What do you think of a Brooklyn Nets
Charles
uniform?
Barkley. Yeah.
Definitely not Kevin Durant. He was there for like
Kevin
what,
Garnett?
20 games?
Just kidding. No, Vince Carter. But
Warriors. Steph Curry.
well, yeah, Steph
Thunder.
Curry.
Oh, Russell Westbrook.
Like you know what I mean? Like, yeah, Thunder's Russell Westbrook 1000%.
What is KD's team?
I mean,
We're gonna have a Hall of Famer that does not have an iconic team, which is crazy.
yeah, like it's like a big old toss up between Golden State and OKC.
And OKC.
So it's just like
And both of those fans don't really like him that much anymore, which is also
not
crazy.
a lot. I was kind of hoping he went back to Golden State because that would be hilarious. But I'm also hearing that he's going to go to like the Heat.
Yeah. It seems like
I've been seeing a lot of what Shams has been saying, and he's like Heat maybe, not Spurs, but because they thought Spurs at first, not Spurs. Heat.
I'd be good at this NBA trade stuff.
Like
maybe the Spurs is what I'm hearing. Maybe the Suns is what I'm.
Like that's all they.
It just.
I know he hears some things.
He does. He definitely hears more than I do.
Because I was watching him on the Pat McAfee show, and he was sitting and watching Shumpert talk about how he thinks KD would be a great fit for the Spurs, and he started making faces like during it, like, and it was caught on TV. So Pat McAfee brought him on. I was like, "What's that about? What's that about?" Huh? And he basically just circled around the entire question. Was like, "I don't know. Probably not. Probably not the Spurs. Like, for what?"
It's just I don't.
But I'm hearing Heat. I'm hearing Spurs. I've heard there's one more team in there. I forget which team.
Minnesota.
Oh yeah, but I've heard Minnesota doesn't have interest.
Yeah, so that one. See if I can find it here.
Now listen, it's all like I've heard.
I think it was Amick who put this out. NBA media personality.
Never trust a GM. You never trust GM trade rumors when we live in a world where Luka Doncic was traded for Anthony Davis in the middle of the night. So never trust anything you hear.
Very true. This was Amick on this. I think the Timberwolves are confused because in February, the Suns were sending a message to Minnesota that Kevin would be okay going there. They got that intel, except found that, oh, wait, you're really not talking to Kevin. You don't actually know how he feels.
Yep.
So again, could just be.
They just want to do anything they can to make a deal.
Make a deal. Seems like smoke screen, but this doesn't feel like a smoke screen. Suns feel desperate. They want to move this on so they can figure out what they want to do in the draft.
Kevin, he's old. He's just old. He's got 2 to 3 good years, like KD good years left in him.
Let's do this. This will be fun. Tell me the team, yes or no. As in, this would help the team and make it better. Understanding that you're going to have to give away probably some key pieces or a lot of trades to do so. Timberwolves.
No. In my opinion, no.
Him and Anthony Edwards is intriguing, but I
why would you
understand why you don't want to do that.
You know, I could just see the memes now with the Jaden McDaniels. We don't have Kevin Durant. We have Jaden McDaniels. Like, you already have a guy that's like pretty good, and then you have all these pieces. You're gonna have to give up. What are you gonna have to give up to get Kevin Durant?
Randall, probably.
Yeah, like Julius Randle. Like, yeah, you're all right with that, but also
and
like
some other key pieces around. You know,
like,
give a good
you gotta
shooter away.
You gotta pay the money to KD anyways. You might as well just pay Julius. Like, that's the way I look at it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
I'm not totally against it. Like, I think Kevin Durant is a little bit more of a risk now. You're not sure what version of him you're going to get. Nuggets.
That's what I like. No.
You would probably likely have to trade away Braun. Yeah. Who else would you want? I mean, They might want Aaron Gordon, which would be brutal.
I was about to say, Aaron Gordon might be in that trade as well.
If Jamal Murray's in it at all.
Throw Russell Westbrook in there. No, I'm just kidding.
I love Russ on the Thunder. Or not the Thunder. I loved him on the Thunder.
Because he's still on the Nuggets, right?
Yeah, he's on the
That's
Nuggets.
what I thought.
Actually, it might have been just a 1-year deal.
I don't know if he was still there.
He might have got
extended. I don't know if
extended.
he's like a free agent.
Let me
or
double
whatever.
check that before we go. If Jamal Murray is involved in that trade at all, would you do it?
Heck no.
Okay.
Oh, no. I like Jamal Murray.
I'm with you there.
I'm a big Jamal Murray guy.
Other teams. What would be another good team? Spurs?
No.
Spurs is the one I'm okay with.
Like, I think it makes
Spurs
sense.
aren't going to
but
win right
What are you
now.
giving up?
Young guys and picks.
I guess you have the picks to
Mhm.
kind of just shell out anyways. So
If you can get a desperate
that's probably the one
Suns,
where it makes sense.
yeah.
But like, there's ways that I could see that not going well for them.
I think. Well, my theory is it's like if it's the Spurs, you're catching a desperate Suns. Like clearly, none of the other teams, like
Yeah,
clearly
that's
the
fair.
Nuggets are like, yeah, we're not giving you that. That means the Timberwolves hung up and said, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
That means all these teams are hanging up. Because I don't think Kevin Durant wants to go to the Spurs. I think that means that all of a sudden the deal got a lot cheaper for the Spurs. And it's like, well, it seems like we're the only ones willing to pay right now. So it's either this or you run it back for another year with what was an absolute dumpster fire season for the Suns.
Just imagine this big three for the Suns, but like 5 years ago. Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, and Devin Booker. You would have been like,
no. So it's the defense. They all do the same thing.
they do all do the same
They
thing.
are
But
the-
that's 5 years ago. I think they would have been so much better. I think they would have made a deep playoff.
This is the way I see it. And I love Kobe Bryant. He's one of my favorite players to watch. That's like saying, let's get Kobe Bryant and pair him up with Kobe Bryant and pair him up with Kobe Bryant. That sounds like an awful, awful team chemistry. Like throwing three
I don't
Kobe's
know.
together. The ball's not going to move. They all play the same style game. They're all mid-range assassins. They all love, like,
That's fair.
they just, to me, way too similar players. Nobody really feeds off of each other. You go look at, like, all the great teams in the Warriors. Steph Curry was the guy. They all fed around Steph Curry's system. You know, even the great teams, Chicago Bulls. Jordan was the guy. Pippen had his role. And then, obviously, you got guys like Kukoc coming in. You just had specific roles. The Suns, they all had the exact same role, which is to go in there and try to score a bunch of points. And a lot of times just felt like waiting your turn to take over on some ISO and then not playing a lick of defense on the other end
They
of the
were
floor.
just in the finals like a couple years ago.
Yeah, with Chris Paul.
With Chris Paul.
Chris Paul.
Chris Paul.
I'm a big Chris Paul defender.
Where's
And
he?
DeAndre Ayton.
Where's Chris Paul now?
Spurs.
He's with let's say Spurs.
So Kevin
right?
Durant, Chris Paul, Victor Wembanyama. I mean, that sounds kind of fun.
I mean, it would be fun.
And Victor, I just think Kevin Durant, Chris Paul to me is that ultimate element of
Well, De'Aaron Fox.
healing.
De'Aaron Fox is there, right?
Yeah, he's there as well.
He's there. So yeah, I mean, it would make sense.
And I'd be willing to move on from De'Aaron Fox. Like, you would have to find some other point guards, but if that's what it takes, I'm not
you
super
just
invested.
traded for him.
Yeah, but welcome to the league.
Yeah.
Talk about D'Angelo Russell and getting shoved around. It happens.
Gosh, D'Angelo Russell, Montverde product. They did that man dirty.
I'll never forget the Lakers. The Lakers draft him. He is going to be the replacement for, I think this is like shortly after Kobe retired. He was the great hope.
Man.
And then it's like, this isn't really working. This Lonzo
We
Ball
love that
kid,
guy at Central Florida.
Yeah, this
I
Lonzo-
watched him play at high school. He
I
was
thought
great.
Russell was going to be incredible. I
He was
really did.
great.
And he was pretty good. And then Lonzo Ball came, and I was like, this Lonzo Ball guy. And the Magic Johnson's like, we're going to put your jersey in the rafters. And you can even see Lonzo Ball's. I was like, we'll see about that.
And then they just started tossing him around.
Yeah, and then D'Angelo Russell gets shipped up to Minnesota first. Yep, I think
Minnesota, Brooklyn.
then Brooklyn, and then Brooklyn's like, this is crazy. This is terrible. And then I think it was Brooklyn back to LA.
Yeah, back to LA.
And then LA hated him. They wanted him
Yep.
back so bad, and then they grilled him for being terrible.
Yeah.
And then they shipped him off again.
D-Will.
Rough career. I think being a point guard is one of the hardest things to do in the
Well,
NBA.
yeah. Like you mess up like just like once. Gone.
His whole thing was shot selection too. I mean, he just had a lot of games where he would get hot and then just piss away his own shooting percentage because he thought he was just going to have a monster night.
That's the crazy thing about the NBA is that there's so many guys out there that like have played for the NBA that like you genuinely like have not heard of.
Yeah.
Like like the NFL, like, yeah, it happens, just not as often. Like the NBA, it runs deep.
Yeah, because it's just like every year you get, I mean, the draft alone, I don't know what the turnover rate in the NBA, but it's probably even higher. It's got to be insane.
It's got to be.
And then you end up with, even me, like, I'll be honest, like, guys, but you kind of forget about them. But then, like, you're watching, it's like, oh, yeah, there goes Mathurin for the Pacers, coming in randomly for 22 minutes, dropping 27 points.
He had like his rookie year, he had like a crazy stretch.
Yeah.
Like,
he has moments.
This kid's going to win rookie of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And then
he doesn't.
But
and then he shows up in the NBA finals or semifinals at least, but it's just, it's insane.
Who remembers TJ Warren in the bubble? You remember TJ Warren in the bubble?
I remember Lou Dort in the bubble more than anything.
I remember TJ. He was, hold on, TJ?
I remember TJ Warren
bubble stats.
Wasn't he averaging like 23 points?
He averaged 26.6 points, 6.3 rebounds, and 2.4 assists in 10 games during the bubble. This kid went crazy. He had a career high of 53 against the Sixers in the bubble.
What's his find me his career average real quick. This will be fun.
TJ Warren. It can't be that high.
What would be like 12?
Career average.
Dropping 52 and having a career average of 12 is going to be fun.
14 points.
You definitely have those moments. You don't have a game where
I just remember turning on the bubble and then watching, like, who the heck is TJ Warren? Well, I knew who he was, but I was like,
yeah, the NBA has that capability. Like, you're not going to see some no-name wide receiver suddenly become Justin Jefferson in the middle of the game.
No, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
There's only like some guys where you see them and you're like Westbrook Akine for Titans. Like he there was like 5 weeks in a row this dude he caught a touchdown.
Yeah.
Like things like that. Like you might see like something like that. And usually the only reason that those things are getting put on blast is because of fantasy.
Yeah.
Every week that guy like, hey, pick up this guy off the waiver wire.
And
like
the focus is on the other receivers, clearly. If that guy gets hot all of a sudden, then
also you're playing for the Titans.
Yes.
Like so
there's that.
What other receivers are there? Well,
yeah, that is absolutely true. All right, that's it. Well, before we still got it on, I know it's a little bit unfair because the Pacers have a 20-point lead, 62.
Let's go, Indiana.
To 42. 35 seconds left to go in the first half.
Hype too.
Yeah. Who do you got tonight?
Yeah,
no one's 20-point lead.
Give me Indiana.
Yeah, Indiana. I like it.
They got everything going for them.
We've seen bigger leads shrink away in the blink of an eye, but this is a really great sign if you're hoping for a game 7 in the Pacers. Because like I said, right now, they got a 20-point lead as we're about the final possession here in the second half. All right, don't go anywhere. We got one more segment live here, 1040 O Street. Jackson Kleinschmidt and Harrison Arens. We'll talk to you guys on the other side.
93.7 The Ticket is your home for every Kansas City Royals baseball game. Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and the rest of the Royals attempt to make the postseason for the second season in a row. And you can hear all the action on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Your home for Kansas City Royals baseball.
In Nebraska, we show up when friends need help. We check in on our neighbors. That's why it's important to know the warning signs of suicide. If you have a friend or neighbor who's withdrawn, stressed, agitated, or talks about suicide, find out how you can help. Call, text, or chat 988 for 24/7 support. You have the power to save a life. Paid for by the University of Nebraska Public Policy Center. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Welcome back, race fans, to the finish line every Sunday night. I'm James Rowland. Join Bree Marie and me every Sunday from 7 to 8 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket FM or theticketfm.com for the finish line. All the latest news for local and national motorsports, all in one place. 93.7 The Ticket FM.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids. First, I hold my hands out like they're on a steering wheel. Then I look over my shoulder. Next, I put it in reverse. Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
A Shiro's work is never done. You care for the house, the kids, and our future. We're so grateful for all you do. Now, it's time to care for yourself and save a little more for retirement. A free 3-minute online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to boost your retirement savings now. Visit aceyourretirement.org/Shiro today.
A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Sometimes I just cannot believe all the storms we've gone through here. I can only hope that we'll be able to leave this house to you one day, baby. You're our legacy.
Planning for these disasters will make sure we're safe. It is the best way to protect that legacy.
Protect your legacy. Visit ready.gov/plan for the tools and tips you need to start your emergency preparedness plan today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Hey, it's me, your cell phone. We need to talk about something serious. I know you love me. I know you like using me wherever you are, but I feel like this isn't working out when you're driving. I know you may think that it's possible to focus both on me and the road, but I just don't feel the same way. I think we should spend time away from each other when you're driving. It's for the best.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Batter up! Join us this summer at Haymarket Park for 50 action-packed Salt Dogs games running now through August. Visit saltdogs.com for updates on everything you need to know about weekly promotions, giveaways, and special events. That's where you'll find the latest updates to make sure you catch all the excitement and never miss a homestand you want to attend. Haymarket Park is your ticket to fun all summer long. Visit saltdogs.com to get your tickets and unleash the fun.
I tried to hide my cigarette smoking. Then I was rushed into emergency surgery to repair the damage smoking did to my heart. It shocked everyone because they thought I was healthy. Yet because I smoked, I had a severe heart condition that nearly killed me. My tip is, you may be able to hide your smoking from the world, but you can't hide from the damage smoking does to your body.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
We've been hunting these fields north of Kearney since high school. My buddy Ryan has always been my wingman, the life of the party. But I saw a change, and he got really down. Talked about his life being worthless.
If you know someone who's struggling, talk to them about temporarily storing their guns away from their home, taking care of friends and neighbors. It's what we do in Nebraska. Paid for by the University of Nebraska Public Policy Center, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Back to the Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in. Final live show, at least for Ticket Weeknights. Like I said, I'll have a good best of ticket week. I don't know. What is a good name to call it? Best of ticket replay?
Best.
I need a better name for it.
Best. When in doubt, ask ChatGPT.
There you go. Yeah, because AI certainly will only lead to positive things for everybody in the society.
Ticket.
No idea where I stand on that.
Days? It's because it's the weekdays, right?
It's week, just everything tickets. So while he's looking it up, just so everybody knows, basically all it is just random segments. Well, not random. Some of the best segments throughout the day compiled into an hour. So one segment will be early break. Next one, maybe it's the drive. Third one, maybe it's something from the captain. That's pretty much all it is. Just a nice of some of the best stuff that went on throughout the day.
Ticket week rewind, the best of 93.7 The Ticket. Ticket top moments, highlight from the ticket. Ticket week in review.
I don't think AI is that
Ticket
great.
Time Capsule.
Ticket Time Capsule.
There's some funny ones. They give you 10. Just spit out 10.
Incredible. All right. Well, Ticket Time Capsule for tonight. We'll rebrand it at some point. All right, Jackson, wrapping things up here. Well, we can do some more Husker football as not the quarterback class, but just as fun as always. Heading into the season. I mean, the big question is like, how big of a step does Dylan Rayola need to have? Assuming that the defense doesn't fall off. That significantly, I think there will be a fall off because you're losing that great talent.
He just needs to get the turnovers down.
11 picks last year is what he had.
Yeah, he needs to get those down. You cut that in half, yeah, you're sitting pretty. Just cut that in half. I can live with 5 to 6 picks.
Actually, I think it was more than that. Let me double check here on his interception because he had a really rough
might have been 13.
There. Yeah,
might have been 13. That's the number that I think it was, but I also don't remember.
We'll pull it up so we're just not giving him worse numbers than what he actually has or better numbers.
Yeah, who knows?
Okay, no, I was right. 13 touchdowns, 11 picks.
Oh, 11 picks. Okay, yeah, it was touchdown. That's what it was. Yeah, you cut that in half. Like, honestly, just cut that in half because like 13.
Well, touchdown total, like you want to up that too. What is the touchdown total you think for him? I think anywhere between 18 to 22 is
yeah, I
great.
would say a really good season. Yeah, somewhere in the 20 is like you know I'd be really happy with that. And then you get your picks to like 6 to 7.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're chilling. That's
even if you know you get. Yeah, even if you're like at 10 picks, if you can get 20 plus touchdowns, I mean it just helps tremendously. You still want to cut that down, but if he can, especially, I mean, if he cuts that number in half, 6 picks on the year, you feel really good about it.
I'm also excited to see what he's going to do on his feet because I think he's actually he's gonna get moving around a little bit more. He slimmed down a little bit. So,
he seems to have gotten in much better shape.
Like, he
well, I shouldn't even say he's just. We do this all the time with kids. Like, he needs to get in shape. It's like, what? Let him grow into his body. Like he's still a young
kid. Was in better shape last year than probably more than half the people that were saying that. So, I mean, he's a D1 athlete. I've seen the practices that these kids go through.
Yeah.
It's insane.
And you're seeing it. Like it takes time to get to that physique that everybody demands. Like as a true freshman, like calm down.
Like and to see what he looks like now, yeah, he looks great. Yeah, he looks better.
It looks like he's been putting in a ton of work that everybody was so worried about. He looks like it always blows my mind.
And like I've seen videos of him in practice, like running a touchdown. Like that's great. Like I'm excited to see. I don't think he's gonna be like Adrian Martinez, Taylor Martinez.
Yeah, no, of course.
Tommy Armstrong Jr. level of like mobile, but if he can move around a little bit, and hear me out, don't flame me, don't flame Nebraska, but if he can just get a little bit, Mahomes type movement back there.
Oh, you're gonna burners are gonna find you.
Yeah, they're gonna find me. He's not Mahomes, but he wants to be like Mahomes. Yeah, if I was an aspiring quarterback, I'd want to be like Mahomes too.
Yeah, pick somebody that isn't the best, loser.
like, would y'all be saying this if he said I want to be like Tom Brady? Come on.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's just if you would have said I want to be like Tom Brady in the middle of Tom Brady's dynasty, he would have gotten the same treatment.
Like, come on. Yes, does he look like Mahomes? Yes, does he kind of have the same haircut? But like,
he's always kind of looked like Mahomes.
He's always kind of had the same look. And also, you gotta remember, Mahomes does train with the kid. Mahomes supports him. Like they talk to each other. You're acting like he's doing this, and Mahomes just doesn't have any idea who this kid is. They're friends. They talk.
I'm convinced he's doing it for reach. But
sometimes in the locker room out there, like with the Chiefs. Like I don't understand why people are acting like it's this horrible thing. I want my quarterback to be exactly like Mahomes. If that means he has to look like him, sure.
Yeah, I don't really care. I'm at the point where I think he's kind of cheeky. I think he knows and he has some fun with it.
I think he
which
does
is
too.
a great attitude to have.
Which is great. I think the moment I saw him running down the field, jumping and doing the I was like, oh, he knows.
Yeah.
This guy knows what he's doing.
All right, final thing. We got maybe a couple minutes here. I want to ask you this. So the big crux for Husker football is we really struggle when it comes to playing Big Ten opponents. The last time we won more than 3, because we won 3 Big Ten games last year. Last time we won more than 3 Big Ten conference games was, you want to take a guess? Just more than 3. So
2016 to 2017 season.
Close, 2016. Oh, yeah, you said 2016, 2017?
Yeah.
You're
the
right.
only reason I know that is because that's the year we started out like 7-0. So mathematically, yeah.
Yeah, that's the year. You have to go back to that year where we started 7-0.
I was like, mathematically, yeah, we probably would have beaten more than 3 Big Ten teams.
Yeah, DeMornay Pearson sniffed that out really quick, too. He's like, let me think. He's like, rough year. Oh, 7-0. 2016, 17.
That's exactly, yeah. Yep. That's just the way I remembered it. So.
It's just like brutal to think. It's like, man, 4? Like, you just gotta get
I remember that year. I was so hyped.
I knew it. I
remember because I was like the only kid in my middle school wearing Nebraska gear, and people are like, dude, your team's good. Your team's like top 10 in the country. I'm like, yeah, we're great.
If only we knew. What were we? At the time, the peak of that 7-0 ranking wise.
Number 7 in the country.
Was it 7?
Number 7 in the country. We walked in the Wisconsin game that we lost.
Yeah.
We were number 7. Wisconsin, I believe, is number 10. It was a high profile matchup. Like
they bushwhacked us.
And they just
yeah.
They just
who was the running back? 2016, 17.
Divino Zigbo.
Our running back, or Wisconsin's running back.
Oh gosh,
because it's always the fear factor of Wisconsin in that era. Jonathan Taylor, no, that's later. Melvin Gordon.
No, I think it's too late.
Too late.
James White, maybe.
Maybe
James White.
Yeah, you're right. Melvin Gordon. That's too. Yeah, you have to go back a little bit more.
Drafted in 2015.
Yeah, you'd have to go back more.
So I would say James White, because James White was right after him. I think.
You might be right with James White.
Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah, now it's killing me. 2016, 17 Wisconsin running backs.
James White played for Wisconsin from the. Oh gosh, why isn't it telling me? Oh no, he's before Melvin Gordon. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh, you got about 50 seconds to figure out. Or the text line 402-464-5685. Who was Wisconsin's star running back? Or starting running back, I should say. 2016-17.
2016. This is telling me Terrell Fletcher. I don't know who that.
Oh, maybe that was that.
Maybe that just was not a good year for them.
That makes sense why we're just whipping
Yeah,
on it
I'm
right
not
now.
getting any actual decent responses for that year. So
Well, all I know is that we at least caught Wisconsin last year. We bullied them. We got a little bit of revenge. Hopefully that trend continues. Hopefully we can flip the trend with a lot of those other Big Ten schools that we have
take that,
failed
Luke
to do.
Fickle.
And enjoy the extension that they surprisingly gave you.
There
All
we
right,
go.
we'll get out of here. Appreciate you guys listening. Like I said, best of the ticket replay coming up next.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger,